cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2296
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Here we are. It's Mike Matthews here in Podcastro Valley. Yes, I'm actually in Podcastro Valley. And we're doing something here on this podcast that's really great. And it's Mike singing a song. I need to eat something. I'm a little starved.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I need the food for the brain to process the things like lyrics and whatnot. And doing a show for you that's called
Mike's
Daily Podcast Show.
Podcast.
That's daily, yes.
Yeah.
I have been enjoying the excursions that this guy who does a YouTube channel, he's gone to Knott's Berry Farm a couple of times, and I've gone a bunch. When I was a kid, I went there several times. It's an interesting place because it predates Disneyland, and Walter Knott had a fantastic berry farm there, and people came from all over to get his jam. And then his wife made an amazing fried chicken. So people came from all over to have her fried chicken. So I think it's in Buena Park, and it got very popular. And then years later, Mike Matthews would go there as a child. Oh, they recreated one of the, what was it? Constitution Hall or something from the East Coast, from New England, where the Constitution was written, I think. Something like that is there across the street. But the amusement park itself now has all these roller coasters, but it still has an old ghost town that was transported over from Calico, I believe from somewhere, from the town called Calico. I think that's what it is. At any rate.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Would I ever want to go there again? No. Do I have a podcast picture of it today? No. The podcast picture is of, I think they're called lilies. They're blooming all over the place, popping up all over the place in Podcastro Valley and in Northern California in general. See a picture of that at MikesDailyPodcast.com. But yes, I think they also, Knott's Berry Farm, have Knott's Scary Farm, which I went to as a kid. And it was okay. It was scary, but now it's all crazy. Oh, Basil never went to Knott's Berry Farm. No, he never went to Southern California ever. But that's probably good. I mean, Southern California, that's a bit of a drive. I don't think Basil would have liked that. But Knott's Berry Farm, an interesting place. It's got the Snoop. It's what amazes me. It's one of the few amusement parks, I think, that licenses Snoopy and all the Peanuts characters and Charlie Brown and all that. And the only other place that I know of that you can see it is up like in the Santa Rosa area, right? That's where Charles Schulz originally lived, I think. And they've got a museum up there and stuff. But it's interesting to check out this. But check out the videos at least. There's several people who have done videos. I was watching a guy named Jacob, also called the Carpetbagger, and he went there with a guy named something Woo. And he does a podcast or he does a YouTube channel called The Daily Woo, where he's all checking out all these roadside attractions and theme parks and interesting places to visit. One of the places he visited, just, I think within the past week, in Orlando, they had this place called Bible Land, I think it was. And so it was basically some of the biggest stories from the Bible. And they made a theme park. In fact, Religulous, the movie that the guy Marr did, what's his face, Marr, from the... Hi, it's Mike not remembering any comedians today. The guy that did the show that for years politically incorrect or whatever. He went there and showed some of the bizarreness of that amusement park. Well, that's closed up now. It's gone. So it's, I guess, forever immortalized in the Daily Woo's channel because he went there and filmed a little of it recently. And then also that movie Religulous features some scenes from it. Yeah. And Bill Maher, thank you. I know you all knew who it was before I said it. I just don't watch him. I don't watch much anything these days except Father Brown from the BBC. We are watching all of those so much. We're binge watching a lot of that on it's BritBox through Amazon. You get this special channel, BritBox, with all the stuff like Midsummer Murders and no Doctor Who on it, but other kooky old British TV shows and whatnot. Okay, so let's say you've decided, you've made a resolution, I'm going to watch less TV, I'm going to go out there and do more things, I'm going to go to Knott's Berry Farm, I'm going to do stuff. Let's say on FF episode 2296, you want to know how to do it. Ideally, you should outline your goal, the steps you plan to take to achieve the goal, the obstacles that prevent you from reaching your goal, and how you will address those obstacles. This according to Ann Chan. Maybe it's Annie Chan. At any rate, she's a career counselor and licensed psychotherapist, and she lives in Fremont, where we sometimes bring you the podcast from, in Podcaster Valleymont. She specializes in helping people find happiness in their careers and lives. And I pulled this from the Tri-County What's Happening Tri-City Voice, which is hilarious because this issue came out January, not of this year, but of last year, just before the pandemic broke and all craziness. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we were bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcaster Valley today, the last place on earth. Okay, so Annie says, include in your plan a time frame for the action steps that you're going to take. Let's say by August 30th, I'm going to set up a separate savings account or something. Part of your plan should include rewards for your sticking to your goal. Reward yourself along the way. Sometimes resolutions might feel like grim punishment and drudgery, but this doesn't have to be the case. Build in rewards in your planning to celebrate small successes. Another key component to bolster your chance of success is to track your progress. Keep a journal about what you've achieved. Part of the reason why I mentioned the episode number for every podcast is it inspires me to keep doing the podcast. Because certainly the statistics I find for this podcast, for the amount of listens I get, the amount of downloads, etc., it's minuscule, it's mealy, it's nothing. So to say, hey, I've actually done 2,296 episodes, that keeps me going in this world where I'm forgetting Bill Maher's name. Maybe I'm just trying to block Bill Maher out of my brain completely for some reason. So you want to build in rewards in your planning to celebrate small successes. Another key component to bolster your chance of success is to track your progress. Writing down what you've done or haven't will help you maintain your progress. Annie says, I always recommend getting a buddy to support you. Talk to your friend and family about the changes you wish to make. Ask for their help and support. This is one of the key ways to sustain change. And the last show was called Sustaining, because it's talking about the sustain pedal and how sustain pedals are awesome on keyboards and how I need a new one badly. Yes, that's what we talked about last podcast. Yes, it was riveting. Buddies can help you make you more accountable as you hold up, as they hold you up when you are feeling like giving up. We joke as much about breaking our resolutions that it almost feels that we are expected to fail them, to break them. In a sense, we should accept missteps along the way, embrace imperfection, reframe the idea that breaking resolutions means you're a terrible failure. Instead, build in the expectation that you will slip up now and then. Don't see slip-ups as a failure and then give up. Instead, see slip-ups as an opportunity to revise your plan and to renew your goal. So, and she writes here, January 1st has long gone by the time you're reading this. Please remember that January 1st is just one date in a year. Indeed, many cultures celebrate the new year at different times of the year. In fact, there's a New Year celebration every single month of the year? I don't know about that. So please don't hyper-focus on January 1st as your date of change. Instead, tell yourself that you will make small changes throughout the year. Thank you, Annie. Annie, get your gun. Don't pull that trigger. Annie, work it out. That was the band Squeeze. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Look who's here.
Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega. And yes, it is important to remember that every step you take is a step that you are making. It is better to move than to stand still. Oh!
Yes, just like Jules asked, are you standing still? Is the world leaving you behind? Is that what she said in that song? Or am I standing still? Oh my gosh, just as I said that, I see the CD. She's right next to Jody Messina, the country singer. Let's see. I think it was the album This Way. This never happens. It was right next to my John Mayer CD because I alphabetized by first names. Jody, John, Jewel, John Mayer. He's got a song called Last Train or something like, not Last Train Running, that's Doobie Brothers. I think it's Last Train, something to do with a train. Anyway, Standing Still. And she says in the liner notes of that album, by the way, I said it all in the song. Oh my gosh, the writing's so small. I remember when I could read this small type of writing. Here we go. Do you want me like I want you? Or am I standing still beneath a darkened sky? Or am I standing still with the scenery flying by? Or am I standing still out of the corner of my eye? Was that you passing me by? Sweet sorrow. He said, call tomorrow. Is that what she says in that? Huh. There you go. What became of Jewel? I know she married a rodeo star, and she was singing country music for a while. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And it's a Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, you talked about Jewel and other 90s stars. What about the mighty, mighty Boston's day?
Yeah, mighty, mighty Boston. Do you know that?
Excellent. Do you love the mighty, mighty Boston's, Madame Rootabega?
Yes.
Did you see them in concert?
Yes.
Do you like Smash Mouth?
No.
Oh, you can't say that. We are here really close to San Jose, and that's where they came from, so. Oh, well. We just offended everybody. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer. Tell me what you think about anything we covered today. 336MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is a Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has been for a couple of days. Sometimes we get interrupted, and that's fine. Fine. Enjoy the lilies in the podcast picture today, or whatever plant that is. But if it is a lily, consider the lily.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Email Mike now
at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.